Okay, with Chelsea actually struggling at this point, and I've got a few Chelsea subscribers who are fans of Chelsea. I'm looking at Sarri. I think he's out the door. I think looking at the Man United game after two other losses where they were held out and haven't scored, Bournemouth and Man City, in total in 3 games, that's 12 goals conceded. That is just averaging 4 goals a game. That is unsustainable. If you're averaging 4 goals a game conceded against your domestic league and cup rivals, you're not going to win silverware. There is no plan B. Now, the club have come out and said he's going to be in charge for Thursday night against Malmo. I think that could be his last game, regardless of the result. I think they're lining up a replacement. The tactics on Monday night against Man United were laid bare. Great, they had all this ball. They had some chances in the first half, but the 2 goals conceded highlighted the defensive frailties of Marcos Alonso, firstly. Completely allows, Ander Herrera to basically just jog into the box and then pinpoint his header, doesn't pick him up, leaving David Luiz completely exposed, because David Luiz is looking, lining up the rest of his defensive line to play the offside trap should someone run in behind. Because Marcos Alonso is completely just zoned out and has left a massive gap, Herrera's in there. And they gave too much space to Pogba because Kante's playing out position. No one closed Pogba down effectively, and he can just pinpoint, I can see my teammate running, I'm going to go loop the ball over. The second goal, again, Marcos Alonso doesn't shut down the cross effectively, gives too much space to the ball cross. I forget who it was. I think Herrera was involved in the build-up for that as well. And the ball was crossed in, and you've got to look at Pogba's header. Late run, goal. 2 headed goals, 2 goals easily avoidable by Chelsea. Flip the switch, Chelsea in the second half had a lot of the ball. We're talking about 60-70% of the ball. And there were no crosses going into the box for Higuain. And when Higuain was in the box, not enough players from midfield were making that lung-busting run like Herrera or Pogba did in the first half of their goals to get in and support should there be a knockdown, should there be a save and a rebound. There was no intensity from midfield to get in the box and get in the box quickly. The 3 substitutions, I only would agree with possibly Willian coming on as a like for like. I think Ross Barkley, I wouldn't necessarily disagree with Ross Barkley coming on, but he was hopeless. He regularly coughed at the ball too much, poor in possession. Willian for Pedro, okay. Willian's proved himself in the FA Cup and the league in the past. He's a proven clutch player. He'll get you goals at key times. He's very good with the set play. He's very good with long distance shooting and close distance shooting and making late runs. But in this formation, it doesn't work for Willian either. And then Zappacosta coming on for Azpilicueta. The sarcastic booing and the sarcastic clapping. Fans Sarri's not only lost the fans, he's lost them big time. But I think the atmosphere at Chelsea for a long time now has been toxic. Since Mourinho's and Villas-Boas, I think we're going back until Villas-Boas was there. I think the atmosphere internally at Chelsea is toxic. I have no doubt of that. Plus, the headlines that Chelsea fans keep making for their misbehaviour don't help the situation. But I think ultimately, internally within the club, it's a toxic atmosphere. But Sarri doesn't have a plan B. There's no goals being scored. And defensively, they are being ripped to pieces. Now, Bournemouth are not a bad side. So before anyone goes, it's only Bournemouth, they are far better than advertised. And Eddie Howe gets them playing counter-attack football because they can win games like Leicester did in 2016 with a lot less of the ball. And they've got a team identity where there is a plan B, there is a plan C. And not only that, he's encouraged players to play. And he's improved players that have gone there. They have an identity. Man City, we know what Guardiola's tactics are all about. Okay, Chelsea didn't challenge them defensively, but Man City have a few defensive frailties if you want to expose them. But you give them the ball and you give them space, they will put 6 past you. Doesn't matter who's in goal, doesn't matter who your world-class defender is. That was an embarrassing defeat. And the Man United game, they had all that ball, but they were too slow and methodical. And what the World Cup proved to me in the summer was that teams that play with a quick counter-attack and defensive structure win games. You just have to look. I have to go through my notes, but if you watch my old World Cup videos from last summer, you will look at the fact that team with less possession winning, counter-attack goal, free kick created because of counter-attack, defence put under pressure because of counter-attack, player sent off because pulling down player on the counter. The counter-attack was the way to go. It may not have been the best World Cup for quality, but if you gave the ball away with slow, methodical possession and the opposition have a quick counter-attack, generally, that team won. There's a trend going on here, not just in international football, but in club football as well. The counter-attack seems to be king in 60% of games where the game is won by the side winning. Leicester proved it in 2016. I think it started a trend. Other teams have noticed what Leicester did and gone, we can have that as a plan B, a quick counter-attack. We may not have all the possession today, but we can counter-attack. This is where Arsenal have been going wrong. A lot of slow, methodical possession, getting caught on the counter-attack. Chelsea went wrong on Monday. Now, the goals that were scored weren't necessarily on a full out-and-out counter-attack, but they did have more possession and they didn't do enough with it. And in the second half, they were exposed by the counter-attack of Pogba, Lukaku, and other players of the Man United side breaking from the D in the box from breakdown that corner. Chelsea had nearly 20 corners on Monday. 20. But in open play, hardly any crosses came in for Higuain. Higuain was coming deeper and deeper and deeper. Now, he's not the quickest player. He's a physical player. He is good with his head. He is good with his feet. But he doesn't have the pace to then go on a 30-yard run. You need someone to support him. If you brought him in for a reason, you brought him in to score goals. You brought him in to hold up play. But if he's holding up play 30 yards within his own half, that ain't going to get you goals. Because he doesn't have the pace then to leg it up the field to the other end. Giroud not playing, Hudson-Odoi on the bench. There are issues here. I don't think Sarri is the man to get them out. I think he's got maybe a week or 2 weeks. Unless he can win this game against Malmo and the Cup final, League Cup final against Man City, which is looking highly unlikely with how they played the other week against Man City with a 6-0 defeat, plus the defeat to Man United. I don't think even winning the League Cup is enough. We've seen with Conte, you can win you an FA Cup and a league, still get fired. It doesn't matter if you bring trophies to Chelsea, you're still out of a job. So I think his time is nigh. But that's my personal opinion. Leave your thoughts below, and I'll have some more videos for you soon.